Hello everyone, welcome to a Starcraft 2 replay. Start a little bit there, just watching that go-to split by the red Terran here. The F1 split, very ineffective but looks really cool. And we're going to have two Terran opponents on Discord. We have the one ramp entrance. And in the top left-hand corner we have the two Protoss opponents. And what we're going to do is recreate the When Cheese Fails episode 7. Versus Champs, only this time I am taking the place of Champs, where it's myself as Ketroc and my usual partner Evil Killer. And we're heading down, we're going to do the cheese. Poor Terran opponents. So this will be the Gateway Forge proxy. So it's going to work the same way, only it's with two players. I totally beat out Evil Killer to get the pylon down, and I think I was rubbing it into him over the chat. And like kids who just fight all the time, he does come and attacks my probe. We find little games within the game. Nothing else to do when you're choosing. Oh, look at that awesome gateway blocked by me there, throwing down the forge. Goes to attacking me. Oh, I don't think so this time, but oh no, denied. He gets me in the pylon. Oh, my pylon. So again, the way this works is you don't want to be walled off against this, and since it's a single ramp entrance map, this is going to work very well. The idea is you get zealots to spot the high ground, and you get cannons on the low ground to blast away at the wall. And the cannons will also obliterate any sort of marine or SCV that tries to prevent this wall from getting busted in. So there's the second gateway. I'm ready to plant my first cannon. There's my first cannon. Make my first pylon. You probably want to make the first or second pylon outside of the range of the top of the ramp. I didn't bother, but it's probably okay, because in about 10 seconds we're going to be in good shape. We're going to have a zealot out, and we're going to have a cannon, which is more than enough to stop any sort of early marines. And they are responding with a quick bunker. I think that's a response. Probably a response, I don't know. Some people at this team games just buy bunkers all the time, no matter what. There's the Zealot getting high ground site, pulling way too many SCVs. You only need one SCV to repair per one Zealot. One SCV per Zealot, basically. You're just shutting down your economy by pulling this many. And once these cannons complete, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. There is a bunker going up, but it's going to have some issues versus a couple cannons. I'm going to pause right here. You can see right now the Zealots are outside of the range of the Marines, but at the same time, if we look at our vision, it is high enough up the ramp to give us sight on the top, which is all you need. And now it's time for these cannons to have a little field day. Now the bunker can eventually take down the cannons with repair. I'll probably eventually start switching my focus fire to these repairing SCVs and whatnot. And since this has to concentrate on the cannons, there's no reason to not attack with the Zealots. And with all this pressure, yep, this is going to fall. There goes the bunker, there goes all the units, and this barracks is about, that's the end of it. My probe is more or less not helping me, just blocking up the Zealots. And in go the Zealots. I'm going to slow push with my cannons, just setting up some early pylons just to decide which way we're going to go. And Zealots massacring it, yes. Okay, I know in my When Cheese Fails video, I did an SCV surround on one Zealot with 12 SCVs. Probably don't want to do that versus 6 Zealots with 10 SCVs. So, yeah. Not an engagement I do. I mean, you can always float away, like, always make it a point to save your SCVs. If you have any chance of getting back into the game, you need the SCV count. The only time you should attack with SCVs is if it's a battle you can actually win. So had you had like maybe 6 Marines in here, then yeah, attack with your Marines and SCVs, because that's the only way you're going to be able to kill off 6 Zealots. I did have my cannon pushing in on blue, but I realized blue wasn't actually there, so I cancelled all that. And I'm quickly sending off my probe to this base, trying to block it with a pylon. He's actually floating to a further away base, which isn't smart, because my probe might get there in time. And all I gotta do is plant a pylon right here, and that command center is going to be stuck in floating mode for quite a bit longer. And it looks like I would have made it in time, but I still continued to the wrong base. Oh wells. I see some injured probes up here. Let's just bring up the units lost tab. Purple. Looks like they was able to kill off one probe with his little proxy racks here. And a couple of zealots coming back just to clean that up. And another one to clean out these SCVs right here. But he is throwing down engineering bay, yes. They are following the script to my When Cheese Fails videos, and it's time to go for the defensive planetary fortress to stop the push of zealots and cannons. I do have my cannon set up here for, or my pylon set up here for more cannons, but I'm not actually going to produce any cannons because I do realize this is a fortress creating. So I created pylon outside of range. I'm going to try to abuse the range of cannons right now. Not quite sure. I know it's just one additional range. I don't have real feel for it. I do put a cannon as far away as possible. This is as far away as I can do it at the moment because this is the only completed pylon. It's probably going to be too close, but we'll find out. Fortress is attacking. When you flee, you want to split these units, otherwise stuff like that can happen. And that cannon is in range, so we're going to cancel it. And we're just going to try to get the perfect range here. Spinning a little further back. Nope, still too close. A little further back. Oh, I think we got the money position. There we go. And setting up another pylon over here. So the counter to this is obviously to get high-sec auto-tracking, but with no resources, no income, and no SCVs to keep your planetary fortress alive while you're researching them. Auto-tracking, there's no way that range upgrade will get done in time and this fortress will stay alive long enough. Yeah, I'm probably the wrong person to try some sort of fortress tactic against, because I do know a thing or two when it comes to planetary fortresses. I have little experience in that field. There we have it, the fourth cannon, and this... Oh, it ended. Oh well, we didn't get to see it blow. But yeah, everything else was shut down. Just got some floating stuff around the map, and yeah, even keeping an eye on for any sort of expansion bases. Obviously, once we've like reached this main base, their only chance is a hidden expansion. So just scout, and you don't have to worry about ever having a hidden expansion. Even doing little things like this, just in case it decides to float off and taking the closest two bases. This one's obviously well blocked already. And yeah, so that was our 2v2 match. A little proxy cheese. I guess we can just do a little review on this cheese. It is super effective, especially on these, well, this specific cheese is only effective on maps where they have a one ramp entrance. Or if it's one of those maps where it's like two ramps heading into their base, but one of them's like destructible rocks, that's probably doable too. And it's best if there's some sort of Terran Protoss combination, either double Terran, double toss, or Terran toss, because that means it's most likely they're going to wall off the ramp. And it's just really effective. Forge and Gateway. I mean, it's effective in 1v1, so it's twice as effective in 2v2 because you have twice the resources to pull it off. And it's still just one ramp you need to bust. So you get the cannons on the low ground, and you get the site with the zealots to get the site on the high ground. And your build order is to send out one of your first probes. Build your pylon on 9 as you normally would with Protoss. And then once your pylon's complete, start chrono boosting out more probes, get your forge down, and then stop your probe production at either 16 or you can get a couple more, maybe go up to 18. But 16's the money number. That gives you 2 per patch. Anything more than that isn't quite as effective. You want at least 16 probes. And then from that point forward, just blast your way in. Use your zealots to get high ground sights, destroy the wall and anything that tries to save the wall with your cannons here. Focus fire stuff like SCVs there if you can. And yeah, that's about it. So I'm going to jump into the thumbs up fact of the day.
My patience is limitless. Release the interceptors.
Alright, for today's thumbs up fact of the day, it's going to be about my little investigation on why small patrols aren't working anymore. As you notice, I can do a patrol from like any sort of medium distance, but if you try to do a patrol for somewhere right beside your SCV, Nothing happens. Try it again.
Roger.
Nothing. Try it one more time. Nada. Not the player, but the word no.
You're the boss.
And I like to do that for certain things, like if I have an SCV blocking an expansion attempt by a Zerg, I like to have it on patrol just so make sure it stays in that zone. Or if I have an SCV at one of my front bunkers like this and I don't want it to show up as an idle worker, I like to have it on patrol. But the small patrol just stopped working and I kept screwing up, so I did a little investigation and realized it was actually removed on purpose in patch 1.3. So I found out it was used for something called the Viking Flower, which is quite effective. Basically what you did is you took a lot of Vikings and you would kind of spam click them together like this. And once you get them nice and tight, you would patrol on the spot, just hit P and patrol. And they would stay all clustered up like this. And there's two advantages to that. One is there's no way for your opponent to tell how many Vikings you have. It's like, is that 5 Vikings or is that 30 Vikings? It's really hard to tell. And the other thing is, if any unit flies by this little cluster, they'll instantly get shot at by all your Vikings, so it's great for sniping attempts. But now that you need to like make a larger patrol, it doesn't work anymore, so you gotta do a little patrol to further distance. And you can see they kind of all separate and you get a decent idea of how many there actually are. However, you can still do this Viking Flower actually. Basically just what you gotta do is you patrol somewhere in the middle, and then you shift stop command. So patrol somewhere in the middle, then shift stop.
Agreed.
They'll all come together and they'll bunch up. Sometimes you get stragglers like this. It depends on if they're too close to the patrol point. Because obviously, like, if you look at the dots on the bottom, if I patrol to this point right here, this new change in the patrol is going to prevent it from working. So we'll do it somewhere that's far enough away from each Viking, like right here.
Alright.
And there you go, you got the Viking Flower. Still impossible to tell how many units there are, and they'll still attack any unit that happens to fly by. The only difference, the only downside to this sort of Viking Flower is that when a unit does pass by, they all attack, they do the snipe, but then that's the end of the Viking Flower, they just separate out. But for me, the only time I game mass Vikings anyways is when it's like maybe TVT, and when it's TVT, all I really care about is hiding the amount of Vikings I have. So if he happens to scan the spot, he's going to have no idea whether he's ahead in Viking counts or whether he needs to start pumping out more. So that is the Viking Flower. It's a little more stationary now than the patrol kind. It's more like a Viking stadium. I kind of see a dome there. You could do Super Bowl in this thing, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, that is the end of the thumbs up fact of the day. One final review. You hit patrol, find a spot in the middle, somewhere that's not too close to where Viking already is, just because of that patch change, and then you do shift stop immediately, or shift hold position immediately. So patrol in the middle, shift stop. And there you have it. Viking Flower. Thank you everyone, and goodbye.